Superbike Show on Motorsport Radio.
I'm Ryan Vickers.
Hi, I'm Ben Curry.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Ray from the Kawasaki Racing Team, and you're listening to Motorsport Radio.
Pretty sad start to the season for the reigning champ, Taron McKenzie. Was I think we just gone on air when the announcement was made last week that he was in hospital suffering from a suspected broken ankle, which was later confirmed. And he's unfortunately out of at least the first round. Do we see him returning for Alton Park though?
I reckon we will. It was. I think it would, but it was a bit hit and miss if he would have made this round. It was probably way too short notice in the end. But
unfortunately,
I think we will see him for round two at Alton. And like I said before, with how the showdown works, it's not like a massive disappointment that he's not be there. Obviously, he would have wanted to be there for the first round, but if he's fully fit for Alton Park in the second round, if he gets 3 top threes, there's a good chance he'll probably be back in the top 6 again. He's in the showdown spots. So with the way it works, it's not a great loss. If it's a normal championship with normal points and that, then obviously missing a whole round means a lot.
I forgot you don't like the showdown, do you?
Oh, I haven't got nothing against the showdown.
If it was a normal championship, the way normal championships work, then he'd be all right. But
no, I don't mind the showdown. I can see why riders don't like it, because obviously we saw Jason last year. You ride brilliantly all year, and then it gets down to the last 3, and all your hard work has kind of come to nothing. But it's very good for us supporters. I can imagine if I was a rider in that situation, I probably wouldn't like it myself. But yeah,
hey,
for the sports, it's brilliant.
You just gave us an idea that we can do in I don't know. We'll get Roger at Fab to.
I've asked Roger and Rob if they would do showdown for some.
Let's do a super showdown. Yeah.
They said no, because it would be more complication on the championship.
More like all the riders, you guys would just whinge and moan about it and give them headaches.
Yeah.
No, it's not fair. I'm not coming anymore.
I'm going to B&B.
Something like that. But yeah, anyway, it's a good format. It's staying. It works. What do you say, Lewis? Not necessarily about the showdown, but about Taron.
Well, I think it's it's not a complete blow to his championship just with the way the showdown works, as Jake mentioned there. But I think he will be back for Alton Park, but it's a question if the injury is going to hinder him at all while riding the bike. And then it's going to be a question of how long it's going to be until he's at 100% fitness again and be able to get the results that we know he's capable of.
Decent point, yeah. I suppose.
And Alton Park is a very physical track, so that is probably the worst track to come back to if you're not 100% either.
Yeah, but I mean, how much do you really need your foot, to be honest?
Because you're a superbike connoisseur, you are, Lester.
I'm just asking a question. I mean, Lewis, you're a young up-and-coming racer and commentator and professional media person now. So I suppose you can provide us with an insight, especially in racing in Scotland in Scottish weather. How hard is it to actually race with a broken foot, broken ankle? Impossible?
Well, personally, I've never broken my ankle yet, but I would you do use your foot quite a lot while racing a bike, more than you would probably think looking from the outside in. But there's definitely ways around it. It's one of those injuries that it's not like a broken collarbone or whatever where it's going to make it impossible to ride. There's ways around it that he's going to be able to work around and adapt his riding style to suit this injury so he can hopefully get results and get up to speed quickly.
Well, although someone actually did ride with a broken collarbone at Silverstone a couple of years ago. Was it Christian Iden?
Yeah, Christian Iden. That was that. Yeah, I remember seeing the X-rays before the race, and I was like, "How the hell are you doing this?" I think it was the last meeting before the showdown. He had to get points to get in the showdown, and he didn't do it anyway. But I do remember that. I think he was on the BMW at the time.
something. I just remember him having a thing on a big crash on the quali on Saturday or something, and he was like, well, obviously, this is on Eurosport. Obviously, he's out then, and then there was some talk about him maybe having an assessment and then coming back and riding with a broken collarbone. Yeah. Like, wow, okay. Fair enough.
Jack Kennedy's done it before as well. I think he broke his wrist in a lot of places, and he landed up having cushions around the tank or something to try and keep himself comfortable. I've seen that as well. So, yeah, they can work things around it.
What's your worst injury, Jay, that you've ridden with?
I've Red Lodge a couple of years ago. I carried on riding for the weekend with a broken arm. But,
I actually remember that. Was that 2017?
Something like that, yeah. I basically put a gear in. It was when we used to use the square track at Red Lodge, and I put a gear in on the bike because the only problem was I couldn't pull the clutch in and out. So what I did is I put a gear in on my bike so I could just keep it in fourth gear all the way around. So I didn't have to use the clutch. It was just really painful doing the stuff.
Yeah,
and it worked. I got 3 results.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would Lewis. I mean, I'm guessing what you're 16 or are you 17?
16
now. Wow, still young. So yeah. What would be the biggest injury that you've had while riding so far?
I've been lucky enough not to break anything, at least yet. It's just sore. Well, I've hurt my hip. I've been spending most of the winter getting that ready now for the up and coming season. And I had some issue with my wrist after high siding. I landed on it and I was struggling. Well, I was racing 2 weeks later after it and I was struggling to hold on to the bike. But luckily enough, I've had no breaks just yet anyway.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever ends up happening with Taz McKenzie, we wish him the very best, and he hopefully will be back in time for round 2 at Alton in 3 weeks? 2 weeks. When is it? I don't even... Yeah, when? Oh, obviously, none of us know the calendar.
Not at all. But if it's 2 weeks, they'd be fully fit by then.
Yeah, obviously. And a sad note as well that Luke mentioned. Sam Cox announced, I think, over the weekend or on Friday, that he will no longer be racing in BSB, at least for Silverstone. I can't remember off the top of my head the exact wording of his social media post, but...
I saw it. I didn't see Sam Cox's post, but I saw the team's post, and they were having problems with the bike. I believe it was electrical problems with the bike that they just cannot solve. So I think they're changing manufacturers. Okay. So that's what I heard. So I think it's called. Is it NP Racing? That team is called. I know they're one of the lower teams in BSB, but I can't remember the name of the team. But yeah, I think they're changing manufacturers. I think they can't get the B&W to work. So I think that was the reason why.
Okay. Fair enough. I only read the first headline of it, the first paragraph. Sorry.
So I don't think it's personally Sam Cox's problem, and I don't think he's splitting from the team. I just think the team are going to change manufacturers at the last minute.
Well, let's hope that they get something together for round 2 in BSB, yep. And it'll be amazing to see Sam Cox in BSB. If you've not been following his progress. Then we posted an interview that he did with, I think, I forgot the name of the YouTube channel, something testicular cancer, and we basically shared it on Motorsport Radio, motorsport.radio, the website, in case you are wondering about that. It goes into a lot of in-depth stuff. So interesting watch, I would say. So check that out. Other big BSB news, has there been much this week, Luke?
I don't think so from what I've seen. I mean,
it's mostly just been
keeping them out.
Yeah, press releases about like so-and-so's ready
about round 1 and stuff.
I don't think there's been any more liveries, have there? I think they're all done now, I believe.
They're Chrissy Rouse's levels.
Yeah, Chrissy Rouse's came out, didn't he? And all his background boards and things like that came out. So that looked quite smart, to be fair. I like his levels. His levers look good. How he's got all the, because obviously he's a maths teacher. It's got all sums and fractions and the levers. So it looks really good. Yeah.
Oh, I was just looking at the colours. Well, I mean, I don't, examine people's leathers too closely. But Lewis, what do you reckon of? Have you seen the Chrissy Rouse leathers thing? It's like what is it? It's like blue and orange or something.
Yeah, blue and orange again, similar to the Superstock livery. Yeah, it's nice. It's probably what we would associate Chrissy Rouse with over the past couple of seasons now. So it's nice to get used to.
Cheers, Jay.
There you go.
Thank you. Great reporting. Sorry. I mean, I don't know. What do they look good in your opinion, Lewis?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better liveries, and not as plain and boring and kind of PR looking liveries that we've seen. It's more fun, I guess you could say.
Exciting maths teacher Chrissy Rouse and his standout leathers.
He nearly has a podcast as good as ours, I've heard.
His podcast is pretty good. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been on the show to talk about it. It's from his studio, but his internet let him down, I think. So, there you go. Hello, by the way, to Simon Barry, tuned in, live, listening. Hello, Simon. He says, who's your money on for the 22 BSB title? Now, we were going to get into, Simon, we were going to ask everybody about the showdown predictions, but I suppose since you've already asked the question...
Can I get a pen and paper?
Well, there can only be one winner, Jay.
I thought we were going to choose our showdown 6.
Well,
or is it 8?
I think we should do that as well.
It's 8.
It's 8.
Yeah, 8, yeah. I'll give you till the end of the show to do that, to come up with something.
We can't just choose a winner, can you? It's too difficult.
You literally can.
Yeah, it's just one of 31 names.
Yeah.
Possibly 30-something.
31 at the moment.
At least 15 of them have won a BSB race, so it's not making it difficult, is it?
Yeah, but who's going to win this year?
The most.
Let's put Luke on the spot.
For my
I think you've already told us in a previous show, but I've completely forgot.
What, my champion?
Yeah.
I reckon Taz is going to do it again.
Right.
Even with his injury, I think I can't put it past Mackenzie.
Interesting. Okay, Jay.
I like to have like an outsider and a
Here we
banker.
go. Go on.
I'm going to stick with what I said. I think outsider, but is he an outsider with how well he's been going to testing is Bradley Ray, and then I think the safe bet is Tom Sykes. I think how quick he came back on the Ducati, and the Ducati is normally one of the obviously better bikes. They've always done well, so yeah, Tom Sykes.
Interesting. Lewis.
Well, I think for a start, you could almost have a reason for half the grid on why they could win the championship this season. There's a lot of talent.
But in your educated opinion, who's your personal fave on who, if you were to put money on it?
I would probably say O'Halloran for me, just because of his pace last year, and he never really crumbled until the showdown, which this season he's already got experience of what it's like to be leading in the showdown and your gap getting put down to, I think, 30 points, is it? And yeah, I think that he can handle the pressure this year after already having experience of it.
Interesting. Okay. Personally, I'm more inclined to go along with actually what Jay mentioned and say maybe Brad Ray, only because I've been saying Brad Ray like intermittently for about 5 years now, and well, it's going to happen.
His time has to come
eventually, one day. Yeah, he may be on a good bike with a good team this year.
Well, it's a good bike. We haven't really. I'm not saying anything bad about the OMG team, but I think they've won one race, haven't they? And that was a bit of a lucky win, wasn't it? With Josh Elliott. Yeah. So
yeah, Silverstone.
when two of them took each other out, O'Halloran and Mackenzie. So could happen. But we know how good the Yamaha was last season. So
I'll have a word with him. All right, yeah, cheers. OMG phoned. He said, "You what?"
Hey, it might be their year.
It could be anybody's year, really, couldn't it?
Yeah. I really want to see Christian Idden do well as well, because I like Christian, and he's a proper down-to-earth person. It'd really be good to see him win the championship. But I think it's going to be really hard on that old Suzuki. However much they say it's still a good bike, it's going to be tough.
Luke's in full agreement with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course I am.
Yeah, because if you don't know, Luke supports Christian Idden. There you go.
I'm a fan of Christian, yeah.
Nobody's mentioned Storm Stacey.
Yeah, I think it's a big year for Storm, because obviously he's been in the championship a few years now. He's done well up to this point. Obviously, he's not in the big team. So, but yeah, I'd like to see Storm do well. Obviously, he's extremely young for a superbike rider. So, but I think this is his third season in it now. So,
he's turning 18, 19 soon.
Turning 19 in a couple of days.
So that's still young for a superbike rider when you think of it. But I think him personally would be aiming to get regular top sixes, things like that. But it's such a hard grid, such a hard grid. And even top 10 this season is going to be a really good result for anyone, really.
Well,
I think it's going to be very like MotoGP, where we could see one weekend we could see Brad winning, we could see Tom Sykes win, we could see Haslam winning, and the next week you might see him struggling to get into the points. I think it's going to be that hard this year.
Could it be like that, Luke?
It could be. Going back to Storm Stacey, if he can get into the top 15 in the championship, it could be quite good, because he got 19th last year, and obviously, like we said, there are so many on this grid that could do well. So if he can just make that little step again, it'll be good for him.
Yeah.
I think for Storm, the thing for him is he needs to make other teams look at him. So next season he can make that step up to maybe a bigger team. Maybe, just that really, just so people can look at him.
All right, so let's put you as a team owner then, Jay, pick a team of maybe where you could probably see. I mean, I wouldn't rule him out of something in a Yamaha or something, and maybe go all right.
Yeah, definitely. It's how should we put it? Storm is a very likable person off the track as well. He's great for sponsors and things like that, because he stands out a lot with the way he dresses and things like that. He's very good on social media. So, and you've got to have that these days, because there's so many good riders out there. You've got to be just as good off the track as you are on the track. So, and Storm's very good at that. So if he can get good results, teams, why not teams like Paul Bird's, the Feiho Racing Team, Cinetic Team, FS3 Team, they all could be looking at Storm if he has a good season on the track.
Or he could even stay where he is, because...
I'm not saying the... What is it? Euro Car Parts? I don't know the name of the team exactly, but they...
Brent Gladwin's team, yeah.
Yeah, they could have... they can always improve. So, like I said, the rules are very matched in BSB, so it's not saying they're a bad team. It's just obviously there's the ones with slightly more experience of being up the front. Interesting.
Okay. We'll literally have to see this weekend, Silverstone. Lewis, your thoughts, if you've had many or any, about what will happen and why?
This weekend, I definitely think we're going to see Peter Hittman up front again. Peter Hittman's always pretty much went well at Silverstone. And I think it's going to give him the confidence really just to go to the road races that's starting pretty soon, the Northwest 200, just come out straight away with confidence. Bradley Ray is looking great in pre-season testing, so I'm really excited to see how he gets on the ONG Racing Yamaha. And finally, the Paul Bird team as a whole, the Tom Sykes is really exciting. to have him back in BSB and back in British Championship paddock. And it's great that he's returned. It just shows the class of the paddock and how great the racing is there for a world superbike champion to want to return. But I think it's been really interesting to see how the team works at Silverstone and as a whole, really, throughout the season, how him and Josh Brooks are going to be able to work together. Because they're both great riders with, well, as motorcycle racers usually have pretty big egos.
Interesting. Never noticed that before, by the way. I don't know. Didn't know that motorcycle racers have big egos.
It'd be interesting to see if Josh Brooks and Tom Sykes get on, because I think they're two very different people. Yeah. So I think they're at some point I don't think
they're both very professional. So even if they don't get on,
think of it, have we ever seen anyone get on with Josh Brooks?
I was going to say, Josh doesn't really get along with his teammates.
No, he didn't get on. He didn't get on with Scott. He didn't get on with Christian, and I think Tom Sykes and Josh Brooks. I just can't see them getting them on. I'll give it a couple of rounds before there's probably a few not heated words, but maybe some not getting on.
Tension in the garage.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, are they meant to get on, really? I mean, you're not there to be friends with the guy.
Definitely not. But
I mean, you're there, first of all, to beat him.
As long as they don't take each other out, that's like, the main sort of thing.
Well, I mean, things are going to happen, aren't they? So
it's going to be very close. Another person we should need to look out at Silverstone, who's won races there before, is Kyle Ryde. He was very quick there in testing as well, so it'd be worth watching out for Kyle. I think he'd be up the sharp end as well.
We talked about this last week, testing versus reality, because teams might have just been testing a new part or testing old parts or some. I doubt they'll be testing old parts, maybe, but we don't know exactly what. It doesn't always translate from testing into the first round, because especially Silverstone, when it is the first round, can, as we saw a couple of years ago, throw up some not normal results. Let's say partly due to the fact that everybody's still finding their feet in terms of where everybody is and the sort of package and the bike and the rider package that they've got, and seeing how well all that works best together. So there's opportunities for someone to make the most of it, and it might be Paul Bird's team. Who knows? Who knows, indeed. Staying with BSB for the time being, we will talk a little bit about MotoGP and the race at the weekend, and also World Superbikes and some of the races there as well, and talking about how some of the Brits got on as well. But I also wanted to talk maybe a bit about some of the other classes in BSB as well. Particularly, let's start off with the Quattro Group British Supersport with British GP2 Championship. Yeah. Just been on the website, and these are some of the faces and names. A lot
of fab people.
A lot of fab people. That was one of the first things that I noticed, actually.
Yeah.
Too many. Oh, maybe we should play a quiz. Sometimes when I play this quiz with Roger Keys of Fab, even he doesn't quite remember all of the fab people. Go on, I'll ask you then, Jay, since you are Mr. Social Media of Fab Racing.
We're going through now. Josh Day isn't a Fab person, but obviously he's the father of Harrison Day, who currently races at Fab Racing.
Although Josh has done a couple of races as an adult.
Did he? Oh, sorry, I do not remember. I must have been away for that. Obviously, we know Harvey because he's won 3 Fab championships. He's won 50, 70, and he beat me by a point in the pit box. But we won't talk about that. We've got Jodie Fieldhouse. She raced in Fab
a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah, it was quite a few years ago. Jake Archer, he's had top 3 championships in Fab. Zach Cordroy also, he's had top 3.
Zach.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Max Wadsworth, he was one of the original Fab people.
Who?
Like he would be about the same age as me. So.
Oh right! Wow. Okay.
I think he was like Fab 2004, something like that. So that was a long, long time ago. And Bradley Peary, he was Fab as well. I think that is it.
Explains a
lot.
What about Jack Scott? Was he one?
Jack Scott, I don't remember. He might have been. I did spend a few years away from Fab when I did a little bit of big bike racing, so he might have been there when I was there, but I can't remember him, sadly.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so yeah, these are we're just basically looking through some of the faces so far that are registered in the British Supersport Championship. Luke, how much do you follow Supersport?
Follow it enough to know that Jack Kennedy is probably going to be the champion.
I think we've already both agreed that I would actually put a cheeky fiver on him to win every race this season.
Well, that's ludicrous.
Really?
I don't think it's.
I tell you what, if you're going to lose money, why don't you give me the fiver and I'll look after it for you.
Last year he was on, I'm not going to say, but he was on a slow bike and he still won the championship. And this year he's now on a good bike. And yeah, I think the way it could be.
Well, you're
obviously
presuming
in a championship, anything can happen. You can get taken out. You can have stupid crashes.
You could get promoted.
Yeah. So yeah, something like that. So yeah, I mean, if a BSB team came calling, even if Jack was leading the Supersport Championship, if a good BSB team came calling, I think he would take it straight away, because what's he got to prove in British Supersport? Everyone knows he's top dog. So yeah, I think he's very unlucky that he hasn't been given a good opportunity in BSB. So
what, Luke? Why would that be?
I know Jack Kennedy, every time he has gone up, it's not worked out for him, but I don't know, he does deserve one. When you watch him race, even on the Kawasaki last year, he was the man to beat, but hopefully he will get a call up to BSB on a decent package.
Okay. Lewis, your thoughts on the Supersport as a whole, and Jack Kennedy in particular. Do you agree with what Jay thinks? Is he going to walk away with everything? What's going to happen?
Well, I definitely think he's going to win the majority of races, but the likes of Bradley Peary, which, as we know, is probably on the best bike on the grid, on that McAdams Yamaha. I see him winning 2 or 3 races this year.
Definitely.
But one thing that we haven't mentioned just yet is the new Supersport class as a whole, really. And obviously, not this season in British Superbikes, but it's coming pretty soon. And the likes of Jack Kennedy, who will be still on, if he doesn't move up to BSB, he'll still be in the Supersport class on a 600. You really got to question how long he's going to want to spend in this championship before. Because if he spends another year on the 600 again, next year the 600s could be absolutely nowhere, and the likes of the Ducatis and the Triumph with the Moto2 engine could just blast past them, and he may never get that call up for British Superbikes. So I do think Jack Kennedy's time is running out to find a seat to move up the class.
Do you think maybe from a rider's point of view, as you are a rider, would it be better to be seen to be sort of sitting and waiting for a BSB opportunity, or is he right to just jump on a bike and just race anything? Not saying that is what he's doing, but some people do that.
Yeah, question. I don't think he should just jump on any bike. He should definitely be waiting for a good package, as Luke mentioned, in British Superbikes, because that's what he really needs. Because we've seen him do short stints in British Superbikes, and it's not really been anything magical for a ride that's so fast in the Supersport class.
Okay. Basically, just expanding from what I don't actually think Jay's correct on that, but Jack Kennedy will probably. I
don't want him to win every race of the season. Obviously, I'm a fan of Bradley Peary as well, and I also like Lee Johnson as well. So I want to see them guys do well, but maybe I'm being a bit optimistic saying he'll win every race, but
Well, just because he might have probably done that in the past, or looks like he might have done that in the past, or wanted to. That generally has not much of a reflection on how the future's going to go, because things don't always work out the way that, as you know, Jay. That you want them to. I actually think probably an outside chance for a win might be Harvey Claridge. At least one win, maybe this year. Maybe.
Be nice. He's got a step up. Obviously, I think it's his second year on the GP2, so he'll be looking to make definitely getting podiums in the GP2 class this season, and maybe getting somewhere near the front in the overall standings.
Irwin as well, Keelan Irwin, Corey McGreevy. Zach Cordwell. I'm going to say Zach as well.
Yeah,
Jake Archer.
Zach Cordroy won. I think he won like the last 4 races of the stock 600s last year. So he's on the Gearlink Kawasaki, and the Kawasaki's have been struggling in this class for the last few years now. So be interesting to see, because obviously they have that bit of a mix between the old 600 and running the 636 frame and all that jazz. So it's a bit weird with what those guys do in that team. So it'd be interesting to see what they do this year.
Okay. Interesting. Anybody else, just want to quickly touch on some other categories as well. Anybody else have any burning opinions on Supersport?
I mean, you and McGlinchey could do okay with Gearlink Kawasaki. That is another one to watch from the Kawasaki point.
Okay. Why is that?
I'm just watching him last year as well. Finished 6th, I think, in the championship.
He's very quick in the wet.
Yeah. But I think he's one to watch.
All right, Lewis.
I definitely think Rhys Irwin's going to be one to watch this year. He's shown some great potential last year.
Yeah.
On the Yamaha, and I think this season could be his year if everything goes the right way.
Yeah, decent lad. We've had him on the show. We've had lots of these guys on. When Tristan was on the show, I guess he was competing with a lot of these people. But also, onto the Superstock category now, as Superstock sponsored by Moto Novo. New logo, I think, for them this year. I think interesting one. Again, first thing that springs to mind for me, probably as well, Jamie, is who are the Fab riders? Who do I know from Fab? Well, there's TJ Toms for a start.
TJ Toms was, I'll just keep going through. I don't think Lewis Rollo might have done a few mini moto meetings. I'm not sure.
I think he did, yeah.
Sean Winfield, he was my day, Metra Kits, so remember him. Keep going down. Joe Francis won the 50 and the 70 championship.
Was Joe Talbot?
He might have been. Tom Ward has come and done a few meetings on moto teams and pit bikes before.
Yeah, wasn't he meant to be at Lid the other week?
Yeah, he was meant to come to Lid, but obviously it was just Brad on his own in the end. So.
Yeah, where was Tom Ward? I was disappointed to not see him.
Yeah, he's a good lad, is Tom. So,
but,
who else have we got?
Yeah, Joe Francis, like you say.
He's won both championships of Fab.
Braden, I don't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
David Sellers, I think he's either dad or stepdad to one of the.
To Harrison McKay, I think he's.
Yeah, he races in Moto 3 now.
In the Honda British Talent Cup.
Yeah. And then obviously we've got Charlie Nesbitt, who was only with us last weekend and has won many races at Fab. So,
was he definitely there?
Yeah, he did. He just did the Sunday on the pit bikes. He did beat me in one, sadly, from the back of the grid. But obviously Charlie comes to most Fab meetings and has a muck about on the pit bikes. So
yeah, because I mean he's usually sort of up front with most people. I mean up at the front of the grid. But
he wasn't there Saturday, was he? So he had to start at the back of the grid because he didn't qualify, and the pit bike grid was a bit full at Lid.
Well, yeah. I mean, as Lewis would know, because he was commentating on it as well, along with Ross McIntyre. All races of which you can go and check them out on the motorsport.radio website.
I've been sharing them everywhere for you, Lester.
Well, good. Thank you. Yeah. Incidentally, Lewis, how was your first weekend as a commentator?
It was definitely different to be on the other side of things for the racing, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a different type of buzz I got from commentating, especially in the pit bike races, which was definitely the highlight of the weekend, and the mini GP 70s and 50s. All classes were good, of course, but just the hard racing that goes on in them fast mini bikes is just, yeah, it's incredible. But it was a good weekend. I learned a lot. You and Ross helped me a lot throughout the weekend, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and I think his first time, because he's from Scotland, is young Lewis. I think it was the first time in maybe a long time that he was allowed out of Scotland and dragged down to the south coast. So he was feeling a bit, I don't know, out of his. I don't know what the.
Group chats, you've both been getting in our pit bike group chats. You've been getting very good comments, so everyone thinks you did a brilliant job. So there we go.
Yeah,
especially in the last pit bike race with Rhys Peacock's move around the outside of two riders on the last corner. He absolutely loved it. So yeah, he thanks you a lot for making it sound very exciting.
Well, it was exciting. But again, to know exactly what we're talking about, check it out on either the Fab Racing official YouTube channel or just motorsport.radio, if you like. But yeah, full live coverage through the season of the Road to MotoGP Ladder Series, Fab Racing. And we'll be talking more about another Road to MotoGP Championship, the Honda British Talent Cup, shortly. Continuing quickly, because we're going on a bit. We've
Stock 1000.
Yeah, the June, it's not Stock 1000 anymore. You get slapped for saying that. The Junior Super Stock Championship, I think it is, that it used to be the 600s. Is that right? Junior Super Stock. I still get confused, to be honest.
Before we move totally away, I just want to say I think Charlie's going to win the Stock 1000 Championship this season. I think he's been very, very good in testing. First time on 1,000, and he's been within like the top 5 pretty much in every session. So it's very hard, the Stock 1000 Championship, but I think Charlie's going to do well this season.
Yes, I purposefully didn't ask everybody's opinion on that. Not only because I didn't want to see how much people didn't know about particular riders. But
I know that there's probably Charlie, the other Neve twin who hasn't gone to BSB. I think
the Neve twin.
Him. I can't remember. I always forget which one's which. The one who was on the Suzuki last year. Anyway, I think he'll do well this season as well. But it's going to be tight. Stock 1000 always is tight. So yeah, and obviously Joe Francis as well, coming down from Superbikes. He's going to be near the front as well.
Fair enough. Well, since you've started off thing about it, anyone else have any predictions about the old Stock 1000 or the?
Tom Ward as well, because he's on the Aprilia and that's super quick as well. Okay. Forgot about Tom.
But there can only be one winner, really.
And Lewis Rollo.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Jay. Luke, who's it going to be in the National Superstock Championship, the old Stock 1000?
I've been looking at Alex Olsen for the Superstock.
All right.
As bad as BSB, this is.
Yeah. Okay.
I think. BMW, yeah.
All right, sorry, I was expecting you to do a J and go on and list a load of names.
I was too busy looking at J, looking traumatised that you forgot.
I can't remember them all.
That's what I mean. Lewis, I'm hesitant to put you on the spot just because, I'm not expecting you to know all of the, who's on the grid and everything. But if you do know anyone or any names stand out to you...
He's going to say Lewis Rollo, isn't he?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, well, without that sound too patriotic, I'm going to go with Lewis Rollo.
He's
been up front almost all testing. As straight away as soon as he jumped on that Pageant's Honda, straight away was on the pace. He's had good results on that Aprilia the past couple of years, which isn't a bad bike, but it's not the best bike on the grid either. And yeah, I think this could be his year. If not, maybe next year.
Okay. Interesting. All right. With that, we will slide into the junior. We'll move on and talk about the junior Superstock category.
Am I doing a fab call again?
Yeah, that's literally the first thing I think of when looking at, going through the BSB website.
I think Cameron Hall's done a few, but I can't see any so far.
I'm sure I vaguely remember Jones.
James Alderson, he's done fab.
I'm sure. Is it Ocean Jones? Ocean Jones, whatever his name is.
He might have.
Years ago. Cameron Hall.
Yeah, he's done a few pit bike rounds before.
Yeah, sure he did.
Long time ago.
Chloe Jones.
She might have done the odd one, but she didn't. She definitely didn't do metric kit. She might have done a few mini moto meetings.
I might be, yeah. Anyway,
Lewis. I'm not sure if that's the same Lewis Jones. I think he did 300s last year. He might have moved up. That might be the same Lewis Jones.
Could be.
Obviously, Max. And here's my favourite for the championship.
Oh yeah, Max did a thing just like half an hour ago. Social media post. New livery for Max, and I was trying to look for it and see if I could stick it on, but I can't. But yeah, there was an announcement of a new livery and him looking prepared for the season and all that sort of stuff.
I think he's been top every session so far in testing. So,
well, that'll be good. It'd be good actually to see James Cook, and I don't know what he's doing this year.
I think he's still in the British Talent Cup. Not sure. He was very unlucky last year. Very unlucky.
I made a point to actually go and find James Cook, but I don't know. Maybe I can ask Max at the weekend. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Rossi Banham. We were battling with him at Pit Bikes last weekend, so he's a fab man.
Or Rossi.
Cam Dixon isn't a fab man, but he does come in my motorcycle shop quite a lot because he's local to me. So he's been going well in testing as well. Franco Bourne, yeah. He came from fab. So did Ash. I believe Asher Durham did a few rounds as well.
I believe so. What about Ed Best?
I don't know. He might have done a few. I'm not 100% sure.
Am I just making things up here?
You might be, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it. Jake Hopper, I think he did a few.
Oh, definitely, yes.
He definitely did.
Because I remember at least 2016. What about Owen Jenner? I don't think he did. Did he?
No, I don't think he did. I'd remember that hair.
I don't, anyway. You can't say anything about hair. Jiminy cricket.
Oh, it looks really normal at the moment. It needs a cut, though.
Yeah, anyways, normal, as though it's not like blue hair. I can't really say anything about hair either. Standout names. Luke in the junior Supersport. I might be pushing your knowledge a bit too far with this one, potentially, but if you followed or loosely followed the championship last year, this is the old stock 600. Junior super stock as it is now. Any standout names there for you?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't follow it at all last season, so I don't even know what's going on in the class at the moment.
Fantastic, right? Lewis.
I think.
Oh yeah, go on, Jay.
Go on. Let Lewis go. He needs to have it.
Well, I'll probably have 2 or 3 names in my head that stand out for this season. Not for the championship, this one, but certainly a name to look out for is Zach Shelton, obviously coming up from the junior supersport class. As we know from watching that, he's a very fast rider, and I think this season we're going to see him develop and he can hopefully score some points, and next season could potentially be up there. Owen Jenner, I definitely think is one to watch for the championship this season. Towards the end of the last season, he had some great results, obviously winning the 2020 Junior Supersport Championship. So he's a fast rider, and Asher Durham finally is another one. So personally, for me, I think it's between Owen Jenner and Asher.
Interesting. I'd add also to that. I mean, yes, I'd agree with you. Those names. Also, Seth Crump as well. Yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what his best result was last year, but I vaguely remember hearing him or hearing his name being shouted out, bellowed from the PA system by the legendary Fred Clarke at various rounds. But I'd also add to that list of potential champions, Rossi Banham, or Ross, as he's called here on the website.
It's tough going into the 600s in your first year, but his times have been pretty good for jumping on 600 for the first time. So,
and he's pretty handy on a pit bike, I hear. He
definitely shows me the way round. So.
Well, until he got tangled with a back marker, big crash. Check it out. You won't believe it. See our reactions to it on the social medias.
I was close enough behind him as well. I got it on the GoPro, so it'll be in the vlog.
Ah, right. Well, I mean, if only someone else was there filming it as well.
Yeah.
Check it out.
My angle will be better, Lester.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Who is at fault? Have your say. Get in touch now. How outraged are you? Damn bloody Conservatives. Anyway, so Jay, did you pick out a winner from the junior Superstock?
I'm going to
pick one. Just one.
I'm clearly going Max. I know he topped every session in testing.
Even though he fired you last year.
Yeah, well, we're still mates.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Jay was assisting with, or whatever your title was, assistant.
That's the problem. The title wasn't what I thought it was.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, you should have. Yeah, never mind. But what team's he with? I can't read that.
He's with what Zach Cordroy was with. So the team that won, I think they won the last 4 races of last season. I forgot. Ugg & Co. They're a clothing brand, I think. They do have a stand at BSB meetings. They do sell some nice clothing, to be fair.
Fashion? Yeah. Know all about it, mate.
I'm still waiting for my motorsport T-shirt, Lester.
It's in the van. I used it as a mop. Anyway, sorry. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, bikes. Right. Okay. So I think, did we mostly all choose somewhat? I think we just threw a load of names around there. I think we totally copped out of that.
I don't think any of us match, so one of us should be right for that one.
Yeah, we've named enough people, so I mean, one of them's got to be right, like you say. Right, on to the even harder to predict. Sorry,
300s.
The Hell Juniors, British Junior Super Sport.
No, it was a different Lewis. There's 2 Lewis Jones. Look, that's the Lewis Jones that used to do Fab.
That's the Lewis Jones. He looks remarkably similar to the other Lewis Jones, though.
Can you do 2 classes?
You can at Fab.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do 2. Well, I would love to see someone do that. Do you reckon someone could do? They used to do it back in the 90s.
Or maybe
do
he
2
entered.
Classes, do 600s and superbikes. How cool would that be?
I'm sure you could. Oh, it's just a matter of paying 2 teams.
Yeah.
But in this economic climate, why would you? But
it'd be good to see, though. It'd be good to see.
Okay, well, if that's not the Lewis Jones of Fab, then it's definitely
that one is.
That one. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, you'd know since you probably know. Again, I think these guys were on track for the Snetterton Honda British Talent Cup test at the same time. I think it was these guys. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And interestingly, all the Honda British Talent Cup riders were a lot faster.
Their bikes do weigh a lot less than the 300s. So, and they're designed to go round corners. These are designed to go to the shops and back. So,
yeah, but I mean visually looking trackside, as a layman such as I, the bigger bikes must therefore have more power and go faster. But no.
Yeah, the power to weight ratio is a lot different. Anyway, back to choosing Fab riders. Lewis Jones, Callum Beach, good friends with
James McManus. No,
I can't say I remember.
Kieran Kent did a round.
Danny Kent's younger brother.
And Danny Kent. Lewis Smart. No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah. No, I can't say I see anymore. Charlie Atkins.
Yes, he definitely did.
He started off in stock 600s last year and has gone back to 300s. He did win a race on his comeback as well at Brands Hatch. Okay. Finn, smart, obviously, he did fab for a very long.
Ollie Horner.
Ollie Horner? Yeah.
He was in 70s last year.
Yeah, he was. So
what the? Okay.
And then Jack Kirsch as well, he did.
Yeah, I remember Jack Kirsch.
So that's about all of the fab ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob Stevenson as well.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Jacob Stevenson? Yeah, he did.
I remember him.
Yeah. So I think ones to look out for this season. Ooh.
Go on. Well, while you think about it, I'll put Luke on the spot. Because this class is even harder in terms of people who we all know. Because, well, let's be honest, we don't all know them, do we? So I suppose you can just guess at one if you don't have any other idea, Luke.
No, I'm going to go with James McManus.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like he did decent last year from what I can remember. So that's my. With no knowledge guess.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Lewis, do you know any of these riders? Friends with it? Have you raced with anybody?
Not in this class. No, the class has changed a lot since last season. Actually,
it's like a new year.
But yeah, but Charlie Atkins, I'm going to go with. I would say. Yeah. Katie Hand which is on the screen at the moment. She's the Thundersport GP3 champion, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay.
So she clearly, she's a fast rider, so she's definitely one to look out for as the year goes on.
Quite a few females in this category.
Riders. Yeah, there is. Lucy Whitmore as well on the OMG Racing Yamaha as well in the R3.
Scarlett Robinson as well, and there was
Holly Harris.
Holly's in Talent Cup.
Oh no, sorry, Talent Cup. Yeah,
for the time being. Abs Thomas. And apologies if I've missed anybody out. Charlotte there, whose name I don't want to try and pronounce because I'll probably get it. No. Charlotte Marcuso.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Marcuso, I think. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I'm usually terrible with names anyway, but this category is an interesting one to watch. Just basically for most people, just to see who the next crop of big names to progress on into like super stock or super sport. So this is an interesting category. If for that alone, I actually think Harry Cook will win quite a few races this year, potentially with or fighting with Finn Smart-Weedon.
Finn is fast. He just got to learn to stay on a bit more. He is very quick, but he's been doing a lot of races before this race because he's been doing the Bempsey Championship. So he's definitely going to be ready to go. But I think I'm going to go Charlie Atkins. I think with his experience coming back from 600s, and obviously he did do a few meetings on the 300 last year, and he did win one of them. I think Charlie would be the one to beat. I also want to see Callum Beach do well as well. He had a few good rides last season as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few names that we just all want people to do well. Generally, we don't want anyone to not do well. What's the next category? I can't even see. I put my monitor right over there for some reason.
It's got to be Talent Cup now, isn't it?
I'm going to skip the Ducati Tri-Options Cup because, of course, we all know who's going to win that one.
Josh Day's not in it anymore, so it won't be him.
Okay, fair enough. So on to the Honda British Talent Cup.
I'm not doing fab riders in this because you might as well just say it.
Well, it's easy to say who isn't a fab rider, basically. It's basically fab of BSB plus a few other names as well. These pictures that they've got are all a bit... I don't want to upset any photographers.
You can say it. It looks like a crime right now.
Do not upset the photographers. So let's not talk about it. But anyway, from what these people look nothing like the people who they actually are. Josh Bannister, who I think did his first full season in Talent Cup last year. I think
he started halfway through. I don't think it was quite full.
Okay, well, he's definitely his first one. Sorry, he's just thrown me like half of these faces don't look like they're very expo. Yeah, I think they're going to be redoing some of the photos from this. But yeah, basically, names to watch out for. I'll tell you, because I mean, I'll be filming some of the extra little paddock bits. So myself and Jack Hammersley will be there this weekend at Silverstone doing stuff. So if you're around in the paddock and you see me wandering about with the camera, that will be why. I don't just go around filming the children in the paddock. I really don't. But names to watch out for, thank you, will be Bailey Stuart Campbell on the Team 151s. He has had a lot of injuries over the past couple of years. Super quick. On his day, will challenge very easily any top three, even Casey O'Gorman when he was riding. And have you ridden with him, Jay, on pit bikes or something? He's pretty.
He would have been on an extreme bike while I was on a pit bike. So we'll say we've been on the same track, but I can't say we've raced against each other.
Fair enough.
He would have lapped me, maybe.
Fair enough. Scott McPhee, relative of John McPhee, so says Lewis.
Yeah, believe he's his. I forgot the relation actually, but
I was just going to say relative, but yeah.
Yeah, relative. Yeah, I have raced against him. He's a fast rider. He only started racing on tarmac last year, I believe, was his first ever season. Before that, he was on a motocross bike. So it's been a massive jump to go to the British Talent Cup. But over the winter, he's been getting coaching from Simon Crayfar and John McPhee. And he's progressed a lot through pre-season testing in Spain, and he's really fast now. He was really fast last year, and I definitely think he can get some good results this year.
Yeah, I think from memory, I don't remember exactly how well he did from Snetterton, but I remember his name being up there in the right half of the timing sheets, I think. So Scott McPhee, relative of their John McPhee, and we'll find out which type of relative he is. Let's say
I'm going to go nephew.
Yeah,
that's what I said before the show. Yeah.
Nephew.
Yeah,
there we go.
That was a total guess. I didn't even know.
Well, I'll ask him. Troy Jeffrey, also from up there north.
Yeah.
And
raced against him as well.
Have you? What's he like as a rider?
Fast. I was racing with him.
Pretty aggressive, isn't he?
5. Yeah, he's pretty aggressive. He's a ruthless rider. He's really light. I haven't seen him in, I think, half a season. So I don't know if he's grown any. But last time I seen him, he was quite small. So the weight's really going to help him this year, I would say. Because on the 125s, he flew past me in a straight line just because of the sheer weight of him.
Fair enough.
He did do Fab. He did mini motos at Fab.
Yeah, I remember Troy Jeffrey and also Rhys Stevenson as well. Well, as we said, a lot of these riders is basically a Fab grid of Fab graduates, apart from a few names. But Rhys Stevenson
had some good results last year. Really impressive for his first big year on bikes. So I'm expecting to see him up the front. Really nice lad as well. I expect to see. He had quite a lot of mechanicals last year, so hopefully he'll have a better bike underneath him this year. So
talking about mechanicals, his motorhome broke down from.
I did see that as well.
On Facebook. Yeah. So
hopefully that won't be happening on the track a lot.
Well, no. Anyway, Ted Wilkinson talking about off-roading, I think he was, what do you call it? Not the...
Flat track.
Flat track, that's it.
He did some Fab rounds. He did some, I'm going to say it for everyone, but to get used to tarmac, he did do some Fab rounds last year, I believe.
Might have been 2020.
Yeah.
Which is basically all 21.
Yeah.
It's all merged into one. But yeah, Ted did do a couple of, again, this is, again, the Honda British Talent Cup. Fab Racing providing a true stepping stone into the Honda British Talent Cup. So if you're a young rider, check it out. Check out Fab Racing for your path to motorcycle racing success. So yeah, the Honda British Talent Cup then, the field, Alfie Davison, might be a learning year for him. He's
I think he was injured for all of last season, weren't he? So
he was.
Yeah, I saw he had one of those Ian Hutchinson style cages around his leg, didn't he? So, but he's an extremely quick rider, so if he can get back to fitness, he'll be one up the front as well. I
don't think that picture is Lucas Brown. Unless it's...
Nah, that definitely is Lucas. We only saw him last weekend, didn't we? That's definitely Lucas.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I last remember him on the floor when he got taken out by some back marker rider.
Oh, yeah, he was in the Rossi Banham incident as well, weren't he?
Yeah. But
he's given me his old tyres off his Moto3 to go on the Moto Team bike, so I'm supporting Lucas.
Are they any good?
Well, at the end of the day, what's it? British Talent Cup bike's got 45 horsepower, and I think my Moto Team bike's probably got about 6. So I think an old tyre will be able to handle it, won't it?
If you say so. I mean, obviously technical knowledge is right up there. Eli Banish, I don't know too much about, or is it Elijah? I'm going to say Eli. I don't know too much about him. I think he was around for some rounds last year. I remember the name briefly. Be interesting to see what he can do. And Zach Weston as well. But yeah, some other standout names to watch out for. I think when everything's going well for Ryan Hitchcock, he will be right up there in the top 6, maybe fighting for podiums as well.
Yeah, he's moved teams this year from the Wilson team to the City Lifting team, and we know the City Lifting team, their bikes are always up the front, so yeah, he'll be one to watch out for. Luca Hopkins as well, it'll be his second season as well, so another one.
Yeah, also Ollie Walker, he got I think at least a podium or a couple of podiums last year, or was it a pole position? He did pretty well at some point.
He was extremely quick last year, but very unlucky in some rounds. And I think he had an injury for a little while as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, there's so many to look out for in there. And then there's Evan, Johnny Garnes. Johnny Garnes is my favourite for the championship this year. I know you don't agree with me.
Whoa, I never said anything about Johnny Garnes. But who's your favourite for the championship this year, Jay?
Johnny Garnes.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. I asked him, interesting fun fact for those who don't know, Johnny Garnes is probably, I mean, these are all young riders, as you can probably tell. But Johnny looks the youngest, even though he's probably one of the most experienced. He's doing, I think, the ETC European Talent Cup, I think, this year. Again, yes, he's teammates with Casey. Am I getting that right?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think if he can get good results this year, I think teams are going to snap him up just for one reason. He is tiny. He is absolutely tiny.
I did ask him at Snetterton, has he grown at all in like 12 months or the last 6 months? He hasn't grown. He's like no, nothing against Sean people, but his mum and dad are quite small as well. So his dad's not.
Don't you think? I think he's.
No, he's like 6 foot.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway. But, yeah, no, as a fellow short person, I know you can't tell on the radio, but... so I empathise with Johnny Garnes there. But, yeah, whatever. Make it work to your advantage. Evan Belford, name to watch out for. He was quickest in the Snetterton test in pre-season. Honda British Talent Cup racer, surely set for many podiums, many wins, possibly a championship fight. I'm going to put him down for a championship contender. Picture looks nothing like him. Sorry, but it doesn't.
Clayton Edmonds as well. Last year, he won last year's Fab 50 Championship, so he'll be looking to be
Harrison McKay as well. There's so many names that, to be honest, I think we're like, me and you are like experts in this class. Because I mean,
I need to come work for you, Lester.
Or maybe Dorna.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give us a call. Actually, one name to watch out for as well. One of many names to watch out for. Philip Cerviak. And Carter Brown as well. And Harrison McKay as well.
Why didn't we just say the whole breeds?
Watch it live.
Philip has the best riding style in the world as well. It's like a carbon copy of Marquez's style. It is absolutely brilliant.
Well, it's funny you should say that because he's currently a little bit injured as well. He had he had a nasty accident pre-season, I think, in Spain somewhere. I think that's yours, Jay.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, so I've got my...
Sorry, I just noticed. Anyway. Philip had a really bad injury. We were talking about the test at Snetterton, something about mangling his finger up. But he will be back. I don't know if he's riding this weekend. He'll be brave if he is. But anyway, check it all out. We've talked on quite a lot. We've talked more about the Honda British Talent Cup than we have in BSB, I think. But check it out live on the Eurosports or Quest or Luke. Do we know exactly what exact channel it is on?
It's like on every channel, isn't it?
Eurosport this weekend.
Eurosport, the place to be, and it may also be streamed on the Honda British Talent Cup YouTubes as well. So check them out. There's too many to pick, I think, from the BSB thing. Plus, we've also got loads of other stuff to talk about. Anyway, it is the Superbike Show. It's Motorsport Radio, and we are live doing this show on a Wednesday, day before the Honda British Talent Cup test, which is tomorrow. I've got to get up there early to do some filming. Jack Hammersley is there at the moment. I suppose waiting for us. That's why he's not here on the show. It should be a fantastic weekend. Fred Clarke has been on the internet in the last 5 minutes. Fred Clarke, former BSB radio commentator, trackside commentator, and voice of motorcycle racing in the UK. If you've not been following him on Facebook, do so. It's just Fred Clarke commentator. And he often regales everybody with various stories about various people he knew and interesting stories from way back when. I won't read all of that out, but he has just put out a big long story in a post in the last 5 minutes. I might even share it on the official BSB fans and Facebook support category group. Hello to everyone who tuned in there.